Hello and welcome to Weekend Warrior Mechanics. So today I have a 2017 Hyundai Elantra, the Limited. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder. It's a bit of an unfortunate one today. So it has, a ton of engine sludge on the top end. Who knows how the block looks? And I believe timing strain chain either stretch and or the sludge caused the tensioner or the guides to be um, out of line or loosened. Essentially, there is too much play in the timing chain. From factory, it's supposed to have about 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters max, and it's about 4 millimeters. You'll be able to see it in the
I will
video.
show you the process of taking it off. So don't be discouraged since it's already off. I just already got into this before I decided, like, hey, maybe this will be good for YouTube. Okay, so as you can see, this here is the timing chain. So from factory, from what I've seen online and from manuals, is that essentially this is supposed to have about 1 millimeter of play. And as I lift up here, you can see that that's more about 3-4 millimeters. The timing chain is loose, and so when you're accelerating in this vehicle, you can hear a not a knock, but a like a when you're accelerating above, I believe, about 30 miles per hour. So I couldn't initially figure out what that was, but after removing the valve cover and feeling the tension on the chain, I almost guarantee that it's this chain slapping against the timing, or against the valve cover, sorry. So like I said, as you can see, mass amounts of sludge. I've already started to take some of it out. As you can see there, it's bad. It's all over the cylinders for the spark plugs, the cams. Sorry for the, let's see if we can get it adjusted here to look a little better. Sorry about that. So not good. There's some sections that are just absolutely caked on. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to clean out this top end as best as possible. I've already used liquid moly about 500 miles ago on this vehicle. Clearly it didn't do much help. Recently, when I changed the oil, it had about 2 quarts in it. Where all that oil went is up for debate. I'm sure the sludge had something to do with it, but I'm unsure. But essentially, like I said at the beginning of the video, I know that you could, basically pull the engine, or, take off mounts, take off basically this whole side of the engine, intake, more than likely exhaust, get the top end off, clean it all up, replace timing chain, and then maybe it'd be okay. But with anything with timing, you're talking bent valves, spun bearings, all kinds of things like that. And in no way means possible is it going to be perfect. It's essentially going to be rags, the handy dandy tongue scraper here to get all that nasty stuff out of there as best as possible, a shop vac, an oil change, and hopefully from there they can get it where they need to get it. So let's get started on removing some of the sludge. So I'm not going to go too in depth on how that's going to happen, because essentially it's pretty self-explanatory. I'll kind of show a little bit here, just so you can get an idea. Do the valve cover process. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is technically not the fix all for this vehicle, but we're just kind of doing the bare minimum of what was asked in order to get it running, quote unquote. So see what we can do here. So I'm going to go ahead and check the tubes to make sure that nothing got down in there. And we got a little bit of gunk. Nothing too bad. The sparks are still in there. So it'll keep anything major from dropping in there. And we were also really careful about not just letting things fall into place. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bust out a new gasket here. For this specific engine, it was pretty difficult to find, honestly. So I went to a AutoZone and a O'Reilly's, and they actually didn't have one. So I ended up ordering it off online. But let's see if it's the right one here. It looks like it's gonna be. So essentially, this puppy is gonna sit something like something like this. This is kind of just a mock-up of what we got going on here, because it's gonna go onto the actual valve cover. But so there's your gasket. It's just a silicone gasket, and then these are for the spark plug cylinders, I believe. Yeah, you can actually see them in the top of the valve cover. We're actually going to go clean that right now because that's really bad. So let's get over to that. So basically all we're doing with this is the valve cover, as you can see. And the sludge is present on this as well, but really we're just taking like degreaser or mass airflow cleaner and spraying it down and wiping it off. There is the sensors in here, so be careful, but yeah, we'll just get all this sludge off. Okay, so we got the mating surface clean. We got the valve cover as clean as possible. Like I said, this is just kind of to slap it all back together. It's not perfect as I'd like it to be, but hey, okay. So we're gonna take the tape off of the spark plug holes. I put that there just so stuff would stop falling into the spark plug holes. I got everything out that did fall in there. It was just a little bit of junk. But so all you're gonna do is you're gonna follow the guide of the valve cover here. You're just gonna slip the gasket right in where it all belongs. If you see anything as you go, make sure to take it out. Like right now, I just saw a little piece of something or other in there. So I'm just gonna use the old trusty dusty tongue scraper there to do one more, just kind of clean the passage as best as possible so that it seats properly. And I basically just used mass airflow cleaner on this. I know that somewhere out there mechanic's gonna have a heart attack hearing me say that, but brake clean's a little too invasive. I ran out of engine degreaser, so mass airflow sensor it is, or mass airflow cleaner it is. It works. Okay, so you get it all seated there. On this one, there's actually a little guide for these. I don't know what you would call them. I guess center gasket. They are crusty, dusty, and caked all the hell. Okay, so we're just gonna make sure those channels are cleared out. We're gonna, as nice as we can here, slide these into place, and then those will fit right over the channel for the bolts. And then same here. Get that nice and cleaned out. Press those into place. And put that into place. Boom, bam. All right. So I'm just gonna get some more of this crap off of this poor valve cover here. It's everywhere.
And this is the issue with engine sludge, is it's everywhere. Like there is, between the valve cover, the valves themselves, the timing chain, I'm sure the timing chain cover is full of it, pistons, I mean everything. It's really bad. But like I said, nonetheless, we are just doing the you know, bare minimums here. So now that we got that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some PCV, some gasket maker here, some Permatex, and we are going to hit the corners with a little valve cover bolts here. So I got the diagram from online. So like I said, you really want to pay attention to how you put these on, because it is pretty specific. So we'll grab our 10 mil here and we will start with what the picture suggests, which is numero uno right here. Make sure this is going the right way. And we're just going to get them started here, really. I mean, we're not going to do them very hard. 1, 2, and then over to right there, and then we jump all the way across to 12. 12, 13, 14, 15 here, but I mean, well, 13. Oh no, we're good, never mind. I lied. So then you just follow that same sequence to get them to, I think it's 9 Newton meter. So essentially what we're going to do is go from number 1 again and just give it a little push over, a little extra tight here. 1, 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. 8. 9 over here in the corner. Okay. And 10. Alright. 11. 11. Okay. Alright, so we're all nice and tight with that. I'm just gonna kind of clean up the edges of the gasket maker here. Try to be as nice as possible anyhow. Kind of see it bleeding out there. You want to leave a little bit for sure, but try to make it look as good as possible here. But kind of a bead along this side just to ensure that it would seat properly while you're torquing. Right there. Alright. Okay. So,
that's the valve cover portion done, and we'll go ahead and throw in the ignition coils as well. So I left them plugged in because we had them out a few times, but essentially you'll just go, you'll see how they fit. So bam, 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 bam. Actually, my apologies, bam, 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 bam. So that's like the only way they'll reach, you know. So yeah, let's put these back in here, and then get your bolts back in here. Same kind of idea. You just want them to tighten up in there. 7 pounds of force isn't a whole lot, so you don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to underdo it as well. So use a good the best judgment for tightness on these, unless you have an inch-pound torque wrench. As cheaply as possible, clean out the top end of the valve when it has sludge, and how to put on a new valve cover gasket. And that's basically it. So last but not least, slap on the old engine cover here. Just clip right into place, and then you get your dipstick back in there, that back in. All right, and boom and a bam. And most importantly, especially if you're working on somebody else's car, just clean everything up, make sure it all looks nice. Even if you didn't save the engine per se, just take the extra minute to clean up the engine bay. Take whatever spray you have, degreaser works best, and just kind of spray everything down and clean it up. But there you go. Thank you, and have a good day.